Right now, somewhere in the world, a person just got a raise. More money, same stress. Within 6 months, they're back to living paycheck to paycheck, as if the raise never happened. This isn't bad luck. It's not bad math either. It's a switch in your brain, a switch that was installed before you even learned to count money. And until you understand it, no amount of income will ever feel like enough. This is the scarcity loop, and by the end of this video, you'll never see money the same way again. Here's the strange part. Poverty isn't just a bank balance, it's a mental state that can survive a six-figure salary. Psychologists who study this call it scarcity mindset. And it doesn't care how much money is actually in your account. It cares about how much you believe is enough. And for most people, that number keeps moving further away, no matter how much they earn. So the real question isn't, how do I make more money? It's, why does more money keep disappearing into the same hole? In 2013, researchers Sendil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir published a study that changed how we think about poverty. They found that scarcity of money, of time, of anything actually reduces how well the brain functions. Not permanently, but in the moment. When your brain believes resources are limited, it goes into tunnel vision. It becomes hyper-focused on the immediate problem, this month's bill, this week's expense, and it loses the mental bandwidth to think long-term. That's why a person under financial stress will make a decision that helps them survive Tuesday, even if it costs them next year. It's not stupidity. It's a brain running a survival program, the same one that helped humans survive famines for thousands of years. The problem is, that program was built for a world of physical scarcity, not credit cards, not 30-year mortgages, not stock markets, and it doesn't know the difference. Here's how the loop actually works, step by step. Step 1. You experience a lack of money, even briefly. Step 2. Your brain marks this as a threat. The same system that once watched for predators now watches your bank balance. Step 3. Under threat, your brain narrows its focus to short-term relief. A treat, a purchase, something that calms the nervous system right now. Step 4. That short-term relief creates a new, smaller version of the same problem. Less money than before. And the loop starts again. Not because you're undisciplined, because your brain thinks it's protecting you. This is why so many people who grew up with financial stress struggle to hold on to money even after their income changes. The income changed. The internal alarm system didn't. Picture two people starting the exact same job on the exact same salary. The first grew up hearing that money disappears fast, that emergencies are always one step away. The second grew up with a quiet sense that things generally work out. 5 years later, they're still earning the same amount. But one of them has savings, a plan, a sense of direction. The other is still living paycheck to paycheck, wondering where it all went. Nothing about their income explains the gap. The gap was already there, running quietly in the background, long before either of them earned a single dollar of that salary. One brain was running a threat program, the other wasn't. That's the entire difference. Now compare that to how wealthy individuals are often observed making decisions. Behavioral finance research consistently shows one key difference. People with a wealth-oriented mindset tend to separate emotional urgency from financial decisions. They don't ask, does this fix how I feel right now? They ask, does this move me toward the outcome I actually want? This isn't about having more willpower. It's about not being in the loop in the first place. When your brain isn't sounding a survival alarm, it has the mental space to think 5 years ahead instead of 5 hours ahead. That's the entire difference between two people with the same salary. One stays stuck, one builds wealth. It was never really about the number on the paycheck. This explains the opening story. A raise doesn't turn off the alarm system. If anything, it can make it louder, and more money often means more perceived options, more comparison, more ways to feel behind. Without addressing the loop itself, a bigger income just means the same mental program runs on a bigger budget. The spending ceiling rises with the income. The stress doesn't disappear, it just gets a new price tag. This is sometimes called lifestyle inflation, but the root cause sits one layer deeper. It's the scarcity alarm still running in the background, still whispering you need relief, even when the bank account says otherwise. And this is exactly why budgeting apps and spreadsheets so often fail to fix the problem long term. A budget can tell you where your money went. It cannot turn off the alarm that sent it there in the first place. That's why so many people can follow a budget perfectly for a month and then quietly abandon it the moment stress creeps back in. The tool was never the weak point. The alarm underneath it was. So how does someone actually interrupt this? Not with more discipline, not with a stricter budget. Those are step 3 solutions. They try to control the symptom, not the alarm. The real interruption happens at step 2, catching the moment your brain marks something as a threat and asking one simple question before reacting. Is this actually an emergency, or does it just feel like one? That single pause, created consistently over time, is what retrains the alarm system. It's slow, it's not dramatic, but it's the actual mechanism behind almost every documented case of someone shifting from a scarcity mindset to a growth mindset around money. It's not about earning your way out of the loop. It's about noticing the loop while it's happening. The people who eventually break this pattern rarely describe it as one big breakthrough. They describe it as hundreds of tiny pauses, stacked over months, until the alarm gets quieter almost without them noticing. Your bank account didn't create this pattern. Your brain did, a long time ago, for reasons that made sense back then. The good news is a program that was learned can be unlearned. The next time you feel that pull toward an unplanned purchase, that flash of, I need this now, pause for 3 seconds. Ask the question, that's it. That's where the loop breaks. If this made you see your own money habits differently, subscribe to Mind and Money. Because next time we're breaking down why your brain fights against saving money, even when you know it's good for you.